Hi, it's Lynn, and welcome to Empowered and Ageless 5 to Thrive. 5 days a week to get your day off to an empowered start. And today we're talking about conditioning. Last night I went to a 4th of July party here at a new friend's house, and I was talking to them about the way holidays are celebrated in different countries, and they've lived in several different places. When their kids were little, they were raised in Cancun. And in Cancun, special occasions always had piñatas. And the candy in Mexico, instead of being sweet like it is in the U.S., is more spicy. And so they were conditioned to celebrate in a certain way with the piñatas, and also that their candy was made of certain things, and that it was spicy. And then when they were a little bit older, but still small kids, they moved to Arizona. And the first year their dad took them trick-or-treating, they were so excited when they came home and they dumped out all their candy and saw what they had. And they were disappointed because they couldn't find anything that they thought was real candy, things that were familiar to them. And they were saying, where's this kind, where's this? And there wasn't any of that. And the dad was thinking, wow, this was so great. Look at there's full-size candy bars here. and he was excited. He's like, if I would have found something like this when I was a little kid trick-or-treating, we would have gone, that was like 10 times circled around. And the kids were totally disappointed because they were conditioned for something the opposite of what the dad had been conditioned for when he was growing up and what he expected from growing up in the U.S. And then the dad said that, that another weird thing happened when they went to their first birthday party. And because it was in Arizona, they have piñatas there at some parties too. And so the kids saw the piñata. Well, they don't do the piñata the same way. So his kids saw it, and they were like, okay, we've got this. And so they took the stick, and they were just whacking that piñata like crazy. And when the candy came out, the other kids who weren't raised in Mexico were just, picking up little pieces of candy here and there. And he said his kids were schooled in a different way of doing the candy. He said they came in with their arms wide open and were like scooping everything towards them, and that they got, all kinds of candy. And yet still, again, it wasn't the candy that they were expecting, because even though something appeared to be the same, it really wasn't the same type of experience as what they expected. So think about the things that you're conditioned to do or to perceive in your life based on where you were raised, how you currently live, the environment that you live in, and how that influences you. And see if your conditioning and your perception from the past is serving you the way you want it to in the present. I know when I lived here, when I lived here in Cabo in the 90s, it completely changed every aspect of my life because it was so different from the life I had in the States. completely 100% different than the life I had in the States. And then I went back to the States for another decade. And when I came back, I quickly got back into that Cabo vibe, and my conditioning from the U.S. went away very quickly that second time, because I came back to something that I perceived already as normal for me. So be more aware today of why you do the things you do, why you think the things you think, what patterns there are in your life that are simply conditioning that comes from someplace that may not serve you any longer. And see if maybe there's some new beliefs that you could incorporate into your life that would help you move forward in a happier, more fulfilled way. Or some things that you see other people doing that you would like to condition yourself to start doing as well. Maybe a healthy habit like walking 3 mornings a week, or eating healthier. Anything, whatever that is for you, just think about your conditioning today. And I'll be back here tomorrow. This is Lynn Pierce saying bye for now. Be ageless.